Hi everyone, and welcome to the Cora's Quilts YouTube channel, where it's my mission to help you make stunning quilts simply. And welcome also to the first video in our Barn Star Sampler Quilt Along program. I am so excited that you're here, and I know that we're all very excited to start sewing together, so I wanted to kick off our Quilt Along by giving you a quick program overview. Haven't met before, my name is Shelley Cavanna. I am a quilt pattern and fabric designer, and I write quilting books like the Barn Star Sampler. You can find my fabric, patterns, and books at your favorite local quilt shop or online on our website at corasquilts.com. You can also find us on most social media platforms under the handle at Cora's Quilts as well. I know that for many of you, this is your first quilt along program with me, and so today I wanted to share a little bit about what you can expect from our Barn Star Sampler quilt along program. Today's video is going to cover our quilt along schedule, how you can join our program and sew along with us, where to find our project fabric requirements along with the fabric bundles and block of the month programs we offer through our website. We'll also be sharing resources for planning your own quilt and a quick overview of how to navigate our book. We've included links to each individual video chapter in the description box below in case you need to revisit any of the topics. Here on our YouTube channel, we've also uploaded an additional video today featuring my Quilty Mis En Place, or the steps I like to take to prepare my workspace and prep my fabric before beginning any big quilting project. That video also includes a list of must-have and nice-to-have tools to gather before we start sewing together next week. So the most important resource I can share with you today is our Barn Star Sampler Quilt Along homepage. For each of our quilt-alongs, we put together a web page to serve as home base for the project. This page includes our schedule, links to purchase kits, resources for Block of the Month members, shop links, and both of our free program downloads. You can find it by navigating to our homepage at corasquilts.com and then clicking the quilt-alongs link at the top of your screen, right under our logo. If you're logging in from a smart device, you won't have the menu at the top of the page, but you can still access the menu by tapping on the two vertical lines in the upper right corner next to the shopping cart symbol. During the next 12 months, we'll be working our way through the 20 different blocks that make up my Barn Star Sampler. You can find the full Quilt Along schedule along with the monthly block assignments on our Quilt Along homepage. Each month's assignments share the block name and number so that you can easily find it in your book. You might have noticed that we're not working through the blocks in numerical order. Rather, we've put together a schedule that groups together blocks with similar techniques. We're also starting with some of the smaller, simplest blocks with the easiest techniques first. This way you'll have the chance to grow your skills and build on your techniques and knowledge as we sew along together, rather than starting with the biggest, most difficult blocks right off the bat. On the third Friday of each month, we'll be sharing a video tutorial here in our YouTube channel with my tips and tricks for the various techniques we'll be practicing for that month's blocks. And to help you stay organized, we've put together a block checklist to help you keep track of which blocks you've already pieced. It's available as a free download on the Quilt Along homepage under the Resources section. To sew along with me, you'll need a copy of my Barn Star Sampler book. I know that over the winter months it was really difficult to find this book in print, but I'm excited to share that the book found a new home with C&T Publishing. Printed copies should be hitting shops again in March of 2023. So if you're getting your book a little late, don't worry about it. You're welcome to start sewing along with us at any time. And if you prefer to work from a digital pattern, we also have the book available in our shop in PDF format. You'll also need to gather your fabric. You can find the fabric requirements along with swatches of the prints that we used for our cover girl on pages 11 to 12 of the book. Once you have both of those items, then subscribe to our channel here on YouTube and sew along with our monthly tutorials. You can share your progress pics and photos of your finished blocks over on Instagram using hashtag #BarnStarSampler, or you can join our Facebook Barnstar Sampler Quilt Along group. If you're interested in making a Barnstar Sampler quilt using prints that are the same or hand-matched to the ones we used in the book, then you're in luck, because our shop has two options for you. The first is our Block of the Month program, where each month we'll send you the fabric you need to make that month's blocks for our quilt along. These monthly fabric kits ship free to your U.S. mailing address, and you can contact us by email for more information about how to participate with a Canadian mailing address. We'll be starting a new group or cohort for this program every few months, so if our current program is full, be sure to add your name to the waitlist for the next group. Our second kit option is our signature half-yard bundles. Each bundle contains 7 yards of fabric that I've hand-selected to use with this project. You can order one of the blue or red bundles to mix in with your own stash, or order all 3 together. Most quilters will find that this provides more than enough fabric to make their quilt top, and you'll need to add 1 extra yard for your binding. You can find the shop links for both of these options on our Quilt Along homepage. If you're sewing along with one of our bundles or sewing with fabric from your stash, we have some tools to help. If you're planning to make the blocks using the exact print placement used in the books, then you can download our free swatch sheet to help you keep track of your prints. If you'd like to experiment with your own color placement, we've also put together a coloring book for this quilt. It includes coloring pages for all 20 of the Barnstar blocks, along with a full quilt coloring page to help you plan your entire project. You can find the link to purchase the coloring pages on our Quilt Along homepage. And finally, if you're sewing along with us, we have a handy block checklist so you can keep track of which blocks you've already pieced and which blocks you have left to make. And finally today, let's take a quick peek at how the book is organized. You can find a full table of contents at the beginning of the book. Pages 11 to 12 give you the materials and swatches for making all of the blocks in the sampler. You can find the individual block materials along with cutting and piecing instructions for all 20 of the blocks on pages 12 through 37. Pages 38 to 43 include the finishing materials for the quilt. You'll need about a yard for your binding, along with the steps to assemble your quilt top. You can find 6 more projects remixing some of my favorite blocks from the sampler on pages 44 through 73. And finally, and probably most importantly, on pages 74 to 78, you can find all of the special techniques for making all of the building blocks or special shapes used throughout the book. It's a good idea to bookmark these pages as you'll be referring to them as you make the various blocks. One thing I do want to point out to you is that while we've given you the total list of materials for making all of the blocks in the sampler at the beginning of the book, we've also separated the materials out block by block. Underneath each block photo, you'll find a materials list for making the number of identical blocks required for the sampler project. It's important to note, though, that the cutting and piecing instructions are for making just one single block. So check out the number of blocks you'll need for your specific project, whether it's the sampler or one of the other quilts in the book, and multiply each of the cutting instructions or construction steps by that number. Hopefully today's video has answered all of your questions about our Barnstar Sampler Quilt Along. I can't tell you how excited I am to start sewing together, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Remember that you can share your Quilt Along progress photos over on Instagram using hashtag #BarnstarSampler, and be sure to tag us at Cora's Quilts so that we can see your photos too. And don't forget to grab your free Barnstar Sampler Quilt Along block checklist. We've left a link to download it in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel. Happy sewing, and we'll see you soon with another Barnstar Sampler tutorial.